Let me tell you how I just turned a $700 cruise cabin into a $4,400 luxury experience and why this might be one of the biggest cruise sailings that I've ever pulled off. And it was so easy to do. I don't want you to miss out on the same opportunity in the future. So let me tell you exactly how I snagged such a steal of a deal. I'm soon to sail on MSC Seashore, and when I originally booked this cruise, I booked the most basic and the cheapest stateroom available. It was a standard interior stateroom, nothing fancy, and in fact, this was even a guarantee stateroom where the cruise line was going to assign my interior cabin for me. Now, this interior guarantee cost just over $700 for my 5-day cruise, and this is for a solo cruiser, just me, one person traveling. Then MSC sent out their upgrade bids. Now, most cruise lines these days have a similar program where you can bid on upgrades to a higher class of stateroom. You'll usually get an email within a couple months of your sailing to place your bid, and you can be upgraded via a successful bid anywhere from a couple months down to the day of your sailing. But I've never looked up like I did with MSC because I placed a bid of $1,100 to upgrade into an interior Yacht Club Suite. That's $1,100 per cabin, so just $1,100 total for this upgrade. And I stress that because most of the other cruise lines do bids per person, and it was about 5 weeks before the sailing that I was notified via email that my bid was successful and had been accepted. So all in all, I paid about $1,800 total for a stateroom on a 5-day cruise that would have cost over $4,400 if I had booked it outright. And that's a savings of more than $2,600. And that's where this story gets really interesting because when you upgrade into MSC's Yacht Club, you're not just upgrading your room. You're upgrading your entire cruise experience, including amenities and packages. Everything gets upgraded. With this upgrade, I get unlimited drinks and unlimited Wi-Fi. Both of these are especially cool because I didn't have either of these packages before the upgrade. MSC actually upgrades you to the full Yacht Club experience, drink packages and unlimited internet included, which most of the other cruise lines do not when you get upgraded to suites in their bid programs. I of course get all the standard Yacht Club amenities, which include things like access to the Yacht Club private restaurant, access to a private pool deck and lounge, butler service, concierge service, priority embarkation and disembarkation, thermal spa access, and even private elevators and keycard only spaces. And yes, all of that is included, even though I only upgraded via a bid. And that's huge because this is just not how most of the other cruise lines handle their upgrade bidding. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up. A lot of cruise lines offer upgrade bids, but not all of them deliver the same value. And some of them look great on paper, but fall apart once you understand some of the fine print, particularly if you're upgrading to a suite class like the Yacht Club. So let's walk through these a bit to help you understand what you're actually bidding on when you bid on a stateroom upgrade. And let's start with Celebrity Cruises. This is the one I'm actually the most familiar with. And Celebrity's Move Up program allows you to bid into a higher category of stateroom. Think ocean view or balcony from interior, or even into the retreat. The retreat is comparable to the Yacht Club in that it's Celebrity's ship within a ship concept. Now, upgrading to the retreat sounds amazing. That is until you realize that you're really only getting the room and the access to all the retreat amenities like the private dining room, the private lounge, the private sun deck if there is one on the ship. And that's because, unlike MSC, your drink package doesn't upgrade and your Wi-Fi doesn't upgrade. So you're essentially only going to maintain the packages that were included or bought for the original stateroom that you booked. And this actually makes an MSC upgrade into their suite category a much better value since you can save so much money via these included packages when you upgrade to the Yacht Club. Now, I must clarify here that this value is only if you're moving into a suite category, because if you're moving between, say, an interior stateroom and a balcony stateroom, there aren't any perks to be gained there. You're not going to get any included drink package because there's no included drink package with the balcony stateroom, only the Yacht Club. Now, similar to Celebrity's Move Up is Royal Caribbean's Royal Up program, and you might get a bigger room, you might even land a suite here, but your original included or booked packages, again, think about those drink packages and Wi-Fi, that'll be what you get on the other end of the upgrade. You're essentially upgrading square footage and not the lifestyle experience itself. And unlike Celebrity and MSC, Royal doesn't have an across-the-fleet ship-within-a-ship concept. Although on some of their newer ships now, they are offering an exclusive dining room. I think they call it the Star Class. So there are some amenities on the newer ships that you might get if you get upgraded to a suite on Royal Caribbean. Norwegian Cruise Line, again, like most of the others, does not offer upgraded packages when you go from a standard stateroom to their Haven, another ship within a ship suite experience. You'll still get access to all the Haven inclusive areas like the private Haven deck, dining room, elevators, and lounge, but you will only receive the packages or the free at sea perks that came with your original booking. And so this is why MSC really stands out. I was actually really surprised and really impressed when I found out. When MSC upgrades you into a yacht club via a bid upgrade, they treat it as a true category upgrade. Once you're in the yacht club, you're fully in. And that's what makes this upgrade such a massive value and why it completely changes how you should think about booking cruises. So here's the key lesson regarding these bid upgrades. Sometimes the smartest move isn't booking the best cabin up front. If you're selling with a cruise line that offers upgrade bidding, like the ones that I've just mentioned here, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, MSC, the trick is booking the cabin that you're most comfortable with. And by this, I mean the cabin you'd not be disappointed spending your entire cruise vacation in. While it's most likely you'll end up sleeping there, you could also get lucky with your upgrade bid and score a nice stateroom for much cheaper than booking it outright. Now, upgrade bidding makes the most sense when you're happy with your original cabin, you understand exactly what packages and inclusions are included in a bid upgrade and what isn't. You're okay if that bid doesn't clear, and the upgrade meaningfully improves your experience. Think going from an interior stateroom with no windows and that enclosed fill-in that you get to being able to step out onto your own private veranda each morning. Now, on the contrary, upgrade bidding does not make sense when you might be counting on perks or packages that are not going to be applicable if you get an upgrade via a bid. It's also not worth it if you'd be disappointed if the bid fails. So you're hinging your entire cruise experience on this bid. If you haven't read the fine print and don't actually understand what the bidding does, I wouldn't go into it, and place large bids, especially if you don't understand exactly what's going to happen. Because most of the time what's going to happen, you go in there, you place your bids, and they're immediately going to ask you for your credit card information because as soon as they deem that you're going to be upgraded, they're going to charge you. They're not going to email you or write you or call you on the phone and say, do you want this upgrade? They are going to charge you immediately to the card that you have on file with them when you place the bid. So make sure you read the fine print and understand what you're doing when you place these bids. And that brings me to my big rule about upgrade bidding. If you're someone who needs the upgrade, you just have to have that balcony stateroom or you just have to have that suite, then go ahead and book it from the start. You don't want to be disappointed all throughout your cruise that you didn't book the stateroom that you wanted and you didn't win it on an upgrade bid. But if you'd love the upgrade, if it's just something that, would be a nice to have, sort of like me, I was perfectly happy with this interior stateroom I booked, but I was like, you know what? It would actually be really good if I was upgraded to the Yacht Club. Well, take a chance and bid on it because, like me, you never know what might happen. And let me know down in the comments, have you ever bid on any type of a suite upgrade or any upgrade at all via these bid programs? What was your success like? Do you have any fun, exciting success stories like mine where you've got upgraded for just $1,100 to a suite? Let me know down in the comments. Or maybe you've been disappointed. Tell me about your disappointments too. When did you maybe bid something you thought was a really good bid but it didn't get accepted? I'm curious to know. And now I want to give you some practical tips to maximize your chances of scoring that upgrade with a bid. First of all, don't just bid the minimum. And I say this because everyone else is doing the very same thing. They're bidding the minimum, and those bids rarely clear unless that ship is just wide open, which that's just not happening these days because more and more people are cruising. My second rule is that shorter sailings often have better odds. Think 3 to 5 knot cruises because these tend to see more inventory movement, and these are certainly where I've had the most success getting upgraded. I'm talking a 3 or 4 night cruise when I've gone from maybe an interior ocean view to a balcony. It moves like that. The name of the game for the cruise lines is to sell as many of their cheapest rooms on these sailings as possible. So they're going to want to maximize the interior and ocean view inventory that they have available in order to entice folks to book at those cheaper prices. So you may just get lucky on some of those shorter sailings. My third rule is to avoid peak sailings. I'm talking about holidays. I'm talking about summer, anytime during the summer. I'm talking about school breaks when the kids are at home. Those are all especially tough because essentially if you feel like your ship is going to be packed, your odds are greatly reduced for getting an upgrade. And finally, my last rule is to bid on everything you're comfortable paying the price for. Many cruise lines are going to let you bid several categories above the one you originally booked. So think you booked in an interior stateroom. Well, they might let you book all the way up. And in my case, I was able to book all the way up and into an interior yacht club. So into a suite. So maximize your likelihood of getting an upgrade by bidding on everything that seems appealing and is affordable to you. So yes, this MSC Seashore upgrade is a huge win for me, but I've also had great success in the past with bidding with other cruise lines. For instance, once while selling the Celebrity Edge in Australia on an 11-night cruise, I scored a huge upgrade from a solo balcony stateroom to an Aqua Sky Suite with full access to the retreat for just $1,500 total. That was a big one. I was really happy about that one. More recently, also on Celebrity, I upgraded from an interior stateroom on Celebrity Excel. It was her very first sailing, in fact, to an infinite veranda stateroom for just about $300 total. And perhaps another big example was on a 10-day transatlantic voyage in 2025 on board the Norwegian Aqua. It was actually her maiden voyage, where I went from a solo ocean view stateroom to a balcony stateroom for only $310 total. So bidding for a great upgrade on your next cruise is highly recommended by me, especially since it's a great way to save you thousands of dollars on a cruise. That is, if you know what you're doing. And that's exactly why I was excited to tell you about this upgrade that I got and to give you this information about how to be successful yourself. So I just wanted to wish you best of luck in bidding out there. And again, let me know down in the comments what some of your recent successes have been on bidding on a stateroom upgrade. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it informative. If you did, please go down below, give me a thumbs up. Also, be sure while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because we have so many adventures to go on very soon, including the MSC Yacht Club, of course, as I mentioned in this video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.